I had these three wonderful dreams on August 21st, 2024. August 21. 1. I had a lion and I might have even had a zoo in this short dream. The lion's name was Scar and he said imnim imnim. I then woke up shortly after. 2. I was at an apartment complex and I was in my aunt Ariane's apartment. She was also in a relationship with someone named Shawn. I didn't hear any kids even though my aunt Ariane has 4. I then said hey, if winter becomes too much to handle I can walk him over to my apartment. Shawn then said no, we're a very loving couple, and he then kissed me about 10 to 15 times. My aunt Ariane then did the same and the cycle repeated at least one more time, but it could have repeated 2 or 3 more times. After this my aunt said, where are your dog treats? In my apartment, I said. My aunt Ariane opened the door and let my dog Winter out of her apartment into the main area of the apartment complex, or the main area of this floor. I then walked with her near my apartment and she said something in my apartment, but I didn't quite remember what she said. I then felt 3 pendants that I had in waking life, but I only have 1, not 3 in waking life. If I would have scanned the pendants for their details I could have been lucid. Before I entered my apartment I woke up. 3. I was with my 2 sisters Addison and Harper and my pops at a strip mall. We were also younger and I think I was 10, Addison was 5 and Harper was a baby. We climbed a weird staircase and I had a hard time climbing it while the rest of my family were climbing it with ease. I then asked for help and my grandpa noticed I was climbing the exterior, so I got to the right part of the staircase and we climbed to the top and we entered a shop and the music was loud, nice, and familiar. Shortly after entering the dim room I cried out of joy because I felt like all was well. We then walked through the room and I realized that I didn't have shoes on and the carpeted ground felt hard and rough. We then exited and shortly after we entered another store, but it was basically the same as the last one except for no crying this time. There was a different soundtrack playing and after we walked out we started up another staircase, but it broke and I was the only one on it. I was scared and I somehow knew that I could drop down a 169-foot drop to my death at any second. This staircase was inflatable, short width and small. My grandpa then said, hang on Peyton, I'm going to find a lady I know to help you. Shortly after they came back with a lady and my grandpa said he wouldn't help me and neither was the lady. I then heard my family say be strong and climb down. I said I can't and I tried, but it was too scary. I then somehow climbed down to a floor that felt nice and smooth. I then heard the lady say there's a library right after I hit solid smooth ground. We took a short walk to the library. We went inside and we looked at books, but no dialogue about the books was said. Pumbaa from The Lion King said something about adventure. Then a kid that sounded like Kyu came up to us and said fuck you to my grandpa. He then said I believe in you kid, and he then mentioned something about what people would call this kid in his day. He then mentioned something about transvestites and them giving rides for money. I woke up shortly after.
Pronounce Caillou incorrectly.